Hey up now. How's tricks? Here. Got a face like a smacked arse. What's up with you? Oh. Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Were you together long? 7 years, eh? Long stretch that, mate. Longer than some marriages. Was it mutual? Aye. I follow. No longer the same, people want different things, etc., etc. So which one of you came to that conclusion? Ah, right. Seems to me you ain't so sure. You got that intoxicated look about you, and I don't mean drunk. The look of someone lost in memory. I get it like, don't get me wrong. Past can be an haven. Everything seems that bit sweeter, that bit more rosy when it's gone, doesn't it? You start longing for the fantasy that was, oblivious to the reality that is. Here, put your money away. This one's on me. How special, I presume? There. Don't say I don't look after you, eh? Nah, before you get making any rash decisions, let me tell you about a mate of mine. Good mate. Right stand-up bloke. Used to call him Dusty. Artisan baker by trade. Quite successful. Had a small chain of local bakeries called Dusty Millers. Hence Dusty. I tell you, his white bloomers were to die for. Here, I saw that smirk. Get your mind out the gutter, you dirty bugger. Anyway, bit of a free spirit with Dusty. Child of nature, you might say. Loved a good ramble round parts unknown. Many a time he'd come in, telling tales of some obscure nook of the country he'd discovered. One particular day he came in, all excited like. He'd heard a rumour about some undiscovered long barrow secreted away in the Welsh hills, near a place called Devil's Bridge, about 10 miles east of Aberystwyth. Asked me if I wanted to go with. Had to turn him down. Bar to run and all that. Knowing what I know now, we should have taken him up on his offer. For that was the last time I saw him. He just seemed to disappear. Of course, the authorities were contacted, searches organised. All they found were his car, abandoned near a public footpath. Here, I'll pour you another. No. Put it away, I got you covered. There you go. Chin chin. So the years drew on. Still no sign of Dusty. Searches were called off. And Dusty was declared legally dead. Death in absentia, they call it. Course, I always held up some hope that maybe he'd turn up. Never did though. However, about a month ago, I'm going through the mail. As per usual, it's mounted up. See, our Nally has this way of putting the mail where I can't find it, and fails to tell me about it. Then before I know it, I'm neck deep in red letters. Here, you talking about me? Aye, I'm talking about you. I get them bloody taps fixed. Lad came out t'other day, looked like he'd pissed himself. Ugh. He is like a shithouse rat, that one. Anyway, amongst the usual mound of bills and takeaway pamphlets, there's this thick brown envelope with a Welsh postmark. Here, hold on. Ah, there we go. Hey up, Jack, me old fruit. Hope you were keeping well. Seems only yesterday we were having a good old natter. Of course, for me it was only yesterday, but from what I have recently come to understand, that is not the case. It was something of a shock to discover I am dead. What a difference a day makes. But It hasn't been a day, has it? It has in fact been 7 years. I now find myself writing to you from a rather decrepit B&B just outside of Aberystwyth, where I am desperately trying to get my affairs in order. It seems I'm accused of pseudocide, with conspiracy to commit fraud. You know me to be a diligent man, Jack, especially where my finances are concerned. What reason would I have to fabricate my own death? No one believes me, of course. I mean, who would? In all honesty, even to my own mind, it all seems like a lunatic's fever dream. Of all the people I know, Jack, I trust you will find some credence in what I'm about to relate to you. I arrived in Devil's Bridge around 10 a.m. It was a glorious day. The sun was shining, the birds singing, and there was a delightfully cooling easterly breeze. Perfect rambling weather. I packed up and made my way up into the hills via a public footpath that cut through a farmer's field. It took me a while to find the tumulus. It lay well off the beaten track, beyond a somewhat dense crop of woodland, but you know me. I've always had a weakness for paths less trodden. It was an imposing sight, a vast mound of piled earth, standing stark against the horizon. Yet, despite its fearful appearance, I found myself possessed by a childlike glee. The overwhelming compulsion to scale the barrow overcame me. With an energy possessed by only the most hyperactive of 4-year-olds, I scrambled up the sides of the mound and surveyed the beauty that lay before me. I cannot begin to describe the sense of tranquility in that place. It felt untouched, uncorrupted by the presence of man. Feeling completely at peace, I decided to sit down and take lunch. One of those white bloomers you're so fond of, Jack. As I sat there, I noticed I'd placed myself right in the centre of a ring of mushrooms. Strange ones at that, somewhat phallic in appearance, which I must confess to finding slightly amusing. It was in this instance I heard the sound of singing, delicate, feminine, hanging in the air like a crystalline bauble, each note cradled in the arms of a light breeze. I stood up, searching for the source of the song. It seemed to be emanating from a copse not too far off in the distance, about 100 metres or so. Strange, I thought. I was certain the copse had not been there when I'd first scanned the area, but I just put this down to my flawed observances. Regardless, I felt drawn to the music. The song. It called to me. It still calls to me. I wrapped the bloomer back up in its foil and made my way to the small knot of trees, the song luring me onwards, through a corridor of greenery that opened up into a clearing, a perfect circle of ash saplings. They seemed to twist towards the sky, their branches held aloft, as if in veneration of the sun. That's when I saw them. A troupe of dancers, clad in what looked like old-fashioned attire. I took them to be followers of Wicca, or some neo-pagan group, engrossed in some ancient rite. Feeling like I was intruding, I turned to leave. A melodic voice called to me. "Do not go. Stay a while." I turned. Before me stood the very definition of beauty. Jack, I cannot convey what I felt at the sight of her. Her eyes, those eyes, jade pools set in a perfect alabaster face. She took my hand and drew me into the circle, her strength taking me quite by surprise. We danced. Oh, how we danced. She led and I followed. It sounds like insanity, the maddest thing, But in those moments, the sun seemed brighter, the grass greener. Nature, in all its wondrous panoply, seemed to bend to her whims, shifting with every movement of her form. The dance drew on. Round and round the circle we went. I began to tire. I attempted to free myself from her grasp, but she held me closer, tighter, leading, ever leading, her movements, primal, almost animalistic. I could not keep up. My feet burnt, my joints ached, my breath came in ragged grasps. I tried to pull away, fighting against her iron grip. By God, she was strong. She halted, fixed me with a glare that could wither fruit on the vine. Her eyes, Jack, by God, her eyes. No longer pools of radiant jade, no more a tranquil sea. There was only darkness, an obsidian abyss, bottomless, unknowable, raging like a tempest. Once again she led, leading, ever leading, bending me, breaking me, twisting me into an impossibly rapid spiral. Images flashed before my eyes, claw-like branches clutching at a midnight sky, gaunt emaciated figures moaning, wasted marionettes of decaying flesh, compelled by some unseen puppeteer. The earth crunched beneath my bleeding feet, but it was not earth, for we danced upon a field of ash and bone. I struggled, wrestled, fought, tried in vain to free myself, but her coffin-nail talons pinned me tight, a viper's embrace. It was then something dislodged from my inner pocket. She caught it mid-fall. The sandwich. Slowly she backed away, peeling back the foil and inspecting the contents. She held it up and breathed in the scent of the bread. I know not why, but this made her smile. She gave a brief wave, and suddenly, as if nothing had happened, I was back atop the barrow. You probably think I'm cracked, but trust me, Jack, I've never experienced anything more real. It's strange, wondrous strange. Despite the frightful things I saw, there is a longing to be back there, a longing to be with her. I am cursed now by a melancholy that will not leave. My life now lies in tatters, everything I worked for, struggled for, gone. I now face the monumental task of piecing together what wreckage may be left. 7 years, Jack. 7 years. I was only gone a day. Or was I? I no longer know. To hell with it. I'm going back to once again dance the ash circle, for good or ill, whatever my fate may be. Goodbye, Jack. Ever your faithful friend, Dusty. Perplexing, eh? No idea what he found out there. Some say there's magic in the Welsh hills. Maybe that's what it was. Not that I hold with that kind of thinking. It's a fanciful tale for sure. Dusty were never one to lie though. Reckon he had some kind of breakdown. I mean, what's all that about the sandwich? Odd. Not heard out from him since. Can only hope he found some measure of peace, whatever it was he were pursuing. Personally, I reckon he should have left well alone. Sometimes it's better to let things be. Think on that. Anyway, I can see you want to get going. You know where I am if you need out. Just hit the bell and I'll come running. See you later. Have a good one. Could just eat a sandwich, actually. Nelly! Go see if the corner shop's still open. See if they got any of them bloomers in. Ta-da.